Hi guys, welcome back. You're still watching The Spot here on EbonyLife TV, and it's time for us to get some vibes going with our spot of music. And today we're checking out Mayokun featuring Mr. Easy with Love You Tired. Dirty Boys.
Damn, fresh on the bed.
Kilo de go. Kini coco, baby, malapopo mi. Very soon you go do me. But I let no be tomato, pelu rodo ni. Shine your eyes,
I like that people and all these babes gyrating. Do something different, please.
What?
I like that everyone with babes gyrating in the video. Do something different.
Oh, okay, girl. The little like garden pop kind of style thing, I like it.
I love that it's bright.
Yeah.
I like
the girls
his
are very
styling.
cliche.
He's getting
Yeah,
more
the
confident,
styling,
you know.
Well, shoot,
Mr.
when you got
Or Mayokun.
Mayokun.
Okay, he's getting more confident.
It's Mayokun's song, right?
Yeah.
yes, featuring
Yeah.
I like that little AstroTurf car.
I like the girls in the video.
Why won't you? That's what you like.
They're nice.
Why won't you like them?
Very talented.
I can see the talent brimming all
It's
over.
it's not easy though. It's not easy.
It's
man.
not easy.
I swear.
It's not. It's not. Like,
it's not. It's
shoot,
not.
you have to have it. Be ready to like. Wow. Yes,
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like what I like about the video, I like that it's bright. I like that it's fun. I like that, you know what I mean? I like that whole colorful vibe. But yes, having all the babes all the time, super cliche. Just all that. Mr. Easy, and this is hat that's forever on his back.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like his
Yeah, signature.
distinctive
Yeah.
accessory. And
Does
I
he only have one hat?
Say that again?
Does he only have one hat?
No, I don't think so.
How do you know?
I
It's a
think-
recession, you know?
Anyway, you were saying.
Or maybe he went to, what's this guy's name? Prophet Woli Aruni. And that one now prayed on the hat.
I
and
said,
then,
don't
Don't
always
take this hat
carry,
off.
always carry this hat.
Always
with
wear
you.
the hat.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah. Shout out to Mayokun, shout out to Mr. Easy.
Yeah, nice video, really nice song. Yeah, keep it pushing. Alrighty, so it's time for us to go ahead and check out today's guest, or get today's guest into the house. And he practices alternative medicine and general wellness, and we're going to be talking about health and wealth today. So let's welcome Dr. Olu.
Hi, Doc.
Come on in. The
Welcome
doc is in the building, or is about to be in the building. Welcome to the show. Dressed in
Hi.
black. I hope this is not a harbinger of doom.
How are you? Okay, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, you guys are both in black.
Men
Have a
in
seat.
black.
We missed the memo.
Yeah, I guess I did, because you're in black too.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good,
Would you like
good,
something to drink?
Water will
Water.
do.
You sure? Room
Juice.
temperature, cold.
Wow, woo. We only have
Whichever.
cold,
Whichever.
really.
We only have cold, man.
Yeah. So how's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm interested. You said alternative medicine.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think that's a usual thing that doctors kind of say that they practice. So how come that's what you're into, that's what you're practicing, or that's what you love?
It's not a field that is very common in this
Yeah.
part of the world. But you have other areas or other countries that really do practice alternative medicine. You have homeopathy, you have acupuncture, you have osteopathy.
Ah, is that bones? Is that
No, the
osteopathy
acupuncture is
Punctures?
acupuncture has to do with
the needles,
and,
but osteopathy is for what?
How does that
Is
work?
it the same thing as?
it has to do with your bones, yes, but still does meddle into other parts of
Okay.
of
Okay. I was trying to think
medicine.
of what osteo, but yeah.
They all have their own therapies, so to speak. They have their own ways of looking at medicine.
Okay.
Homeopathy, for example, has to do with not using orthodox prescriptions, orthodox
Okay.
drugs.
Okay. So
They
more about.
potentize their drugs.
Oh.
So they're using natural elements to produce remedies that treat certain ailments.
So like herbs and
Not necessarily
Food or
herbs.
like what kind of-
You have calcium in liquid form
right.
that is then potentized into tablets that are empty, so to speak.
Okay.
So
it's like creating your own medicine.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's not orthodox medicine. It's not
Okay, I
made from
gotcha.
chemicals.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's quite dope. Why did you
work?
decide to go into it?
Actually, my first degree was actually chemistry. Yes, and then I went further into wellness, majoring in exercise, nutrition, weight management. But alternative medicine came to me as something different. I took interest while, trying to learn about nutrition and all that. So I went into homeopathy.
Okay.
My father is a medical doctor.
Okay.
My brother is a cardiologist. My sister is
All right.
a medical lab scientist. So
Wow.
Family,
It's a family thing,
business.
yeah.
Nobody's getting sick
Yeah.
in that family.
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty dope. And
So,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
have a question. So with alternative medicine, the first thing I'm gonna think about is, does it actually work? Because we've been so sold to the
Orthodox
chemical.
practice.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does work. There are quite a few glitches here in this part of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not so embraced yet, but it does work. Acupuncture, for example, is usually known to be targeted at reducing pain. People suffer from arthritis,
Okay.
spondylosis, spinal issues. It's been known to not cure,
Yeah.
Right.
But
because
really,
arthritis, for example, doesn't have a cure, but to help manage such
Symptoms.
conditions instead of having to consume pills all of the time. Yes, so it does work. It does work. Even herbal medicine. Herbal medicine does work. It's just it's been abused here.
Our medicine?
Herbal.
Herbal medicine.
Like
So like
agbo.
like my
I'm
dad.
having dreams right now. Woo.
It
My
does work.
dad
The problem we
swears.
have is that it's been abused, like I said earlier, and then we're having problems with regulation. You have people
hard to
who
regulate.
just set up
Little
kiosks.
lab. Yeah.
So in terms of measuring what goes into what, there is no proper
System in
documentation
place.
and all of that. So that's where the problem is. But you have green tea, for example, is herbal. Yes.
Yeah.
You have teas from other parts of the world, like Chinese tea and the likes, which are
Or
usually
herbs,
very, very
yeah.
good. So I think it just has a bit to do with putting the right systems in place. Yeah, here.
Okay. Well, we're going to go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll be getting into it with our topic of the day. We'll see you guys in just a moment.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Spot. We've been joined by our guest of the day, Dr. Olu, who practices alternative medicine, and we've been learning a little bit about that. Now, the topic of the day is Eye on Diabetes, and that's because November was actually Diabetes Awareness Month, and obviously it's a disease that affects millions and millions of people all over the world, and it's important enough to have a whole month kind of dedicated to it and the testing of it, and trying to find solutions, etc., etc. So I have some facts that I will share. Okay. Apparently, there are about 415 million people across the world that suffer from diabetes.
That's a whole
Yeah, that's really a whole lot, and that's as of last year. So they haven't gotten to 2016 figures. So it might have gone up, it might have gone down. We don't know yet. It's the topic of the day, Eye on Diabetes, is actually the 2016 theme for the month.
International
Yeah, for the
Day.
month, because they're trying to focus on the importance of screening to make sure that people actually know. Because
Are aware.
apparently, one in two people that are undiagnosed. It's like wait, let me just read it properly. 1 in 2 people currently living with diabetes is undiagnosed. So you might be walking around with it
And
and
you
not know,
Right.
you know. And there are different types of diabetes. So there's diabetes 1, diabetes 2. You can also have pre-diabetes, which is not, I guess, serious enough to be called diabetes 1 or 2, but you have certain symptoms that are pushing you towards it. You can also have gestational diabetes, which is when pregnant women develop diabetes, basically. So it's a disease that a lot of people suffer from. Thankfully,
So it's classified as a disease.
it is. It is a disease. It's the body's inability to manage the amount
the
of
levels
sugar,
of
the level of sugar in the blood.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
put it that way,
In a
but
sense.
it's a metabolic disorder, so
Okay.
to speak. The body produces an hormone called insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin allows our cells to absorb glucose from the food we consume. When we eat food, it is broken down into glucose.
Yeah.
And what glucose does is help fuel our bodies for energy. So when the body is not producing insulin at all, that is type 1 diabetes.
Okay.
And for such people, they have to always take insulin shots.
Yeah.
I'm sure you might have heard of it.
Yeah.
So they don't produce at all. For type 2 diabetes, there are two scenarios. It's either the body does not produce enough insulin,
Okay.
or the cells that are supposed to absorb glucose don't absorb them.
Wow.
So there are two scenarios. When our cells don't absorb insulin, it's called insulin resistance.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the two scenarios for type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And then you did mention gestational diabetes,
Right, yeah.
which has to do with
Pregnant.
pregnant women. During tests, during your antenatal, it's usually detected when a woman does have gestational diabetes, and then it's easily treatable. But when it is untreated, or when it is not diagnosed, and the woman does put to bed, you then have such babies being obese, overweight.
Really?
Yes.
Ah,
Then there was
okay.
one you didn't mention,
Okay.
which is not so common, really.
Okay.
It's called MODY, M-O-D-Y, maturity onset diabetes of the young. Now, this is the type of diabetes that is inherited.
You can inherit it.
Yes. So
Wow.
it's not so common. Type 2 diabetes is the most common.
Right.
Type 1 is quite a few people,
Okay.
while gestational is strictly for pregnant women.
Okay. Interesting. I actually wasn't aware of the fact that it can actually be inherited, which is
That's interesting.
which is problematic. You just be there minding your business, and then they
Well,
give birth to you, and then there you
I've
go.
seen
Hey,
it in a few
diabetes,
forms.
welcome to the world.
The truth is, when for MODY, the symptoms might and might not show,
Okay.
but it starts at any age from childhood. A 2-year-old, a 5-year-old,
Oh, wow.
a 15-year-old can actually start to show symptoms.
Okay. Well, you mentioned symptoms, so can we talk about some of the symptoms that one might have if they have diabetes?
Okay, I'm sure I'll be mentioning quite a few things that a lot of people will then be like, oh, is that true?
Okay. Well, let's take a quick pause. It looks like it's time for us to take a quick break so that we'll give them the full news when they come back. We'll see you guys in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Welcome back, guys. We have an alternative doctor in the house, and he was about to tell us about some of the symptoms
yes.
of diabetes. So,
Frequent urination,
how frequent?
a whole lot.
Was frequent enough for you to be worried?
It varies from person to person.
Okay.
But when you know that you go use the restroom a lot more than you should, sometimes it might depend on how much water has been consumed and all of that, but frequent urination is something you should look out for. If you know you pass out urine a lot, you can then go to a hospital to get checked.
Okay.
Frequent urination is actually called polyuria.
Yeah. Okay.
And then with frequent urination comes disproportionate thirst. Of course, because you urinate a lot, there might be the tendency to want to drink a lot of water. Now, the essence of urinating a lot actually comes from the fact that when you have too much blood sugar, you have too much glucose in the blood, the kidneys,
Try to flush them out.
no, they absorb water from your blood.
Right.
Just to try to dilute the excess sugar. And this then fills up your bladder.
Okay.
You know, that's what leads to passing out urine a lot. Then I did mention disproportionate thirst, having to drink water a lot, which is polydipsia.
Okay.
And then you also have, for men, very low libido, or what you regard as erectile dysfunction.
Okay.
Those are things that you should, you know, always look out for. You have blurred vision out of nothing at all. You just, you know, start to realize that it's a bit difficult for you to see things. You have tingling sensation under your feet or on your arms, which is actually called neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy. These are things that you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have diabetes, but when you have these symptoms, you then go to a hospital to try to check.
Are there self-service, you know, kind of tests that you could take, or is it like...
No, it's best
you have
to
to
go to a hospital,
hospital.
yes.
And they'll check you for everything?
Though there are
Type 1, type 2.
devices that you can use to check your blood sugar.
Right,
you know, now you
I
have
know about
devices
them,
to check your blood pressure. But, you know, to be double sure, it's best you go to a hospital. Have it checked.
Okay, it's really interesting.
Interesting.
I know that with some people, they, especially I think on this side of the world, a lot of times when you have certain symptoms, you don't go and check them out of a very strange sense of sort of fear or like
Or just manage.
Yeah, or like superstition sometimes. You just, you know, you feel like, oh, this is something else, you know what I'm saying? Diabetes does have a few myths sort of attached to it in the sense that, you know, they feel like, oh, if you have diabetes, that means you always have to be shooting yourself up with the insulin, et cetera, et cetera. Let's kind of try and knock some of those myths down.
We are a reactive society. We're not preventative. We don't try to do regular checkup, you know. Even if you're healthy, you don't have any health symptoms that you need to worry about, you should still go to a hospital at least 2 times a year
to go get checked.
To just get checked, just to be sure. Our lifestyle is another problem when it comes to diabetes for a lot of people. Like I said earlier, type 2 diabetes is the most common, and this usually is associated with consuming a lot of sugar. Which comes from carbohydrates, which comes from the starchy food. So overweight, obese people stand, you know, a very great risk of being diabetic.
Is there any way, I know you said that there's, excuse me, there's MODY, which is, you know, inherited and things like that, but are there actual ways like that you can prevent diabetes?
Of course, of
Right.
course. Apart
And
from
what are these ways?
MODY, which I said was, I mean, is very, very rare.
Rare, okay.
Living a healthy life
Yeah.
generally can help prevent diabetes. Not just staying away from sugary food items, especially sugary food items, but watching the quantity of food you eat, exercising regularly. A lot of people, you know, live sedentary lives. Some not by their making, their jobs allow them to sit behind computers
desk
the whole
all day.
And traffic all night.
Lately,
You know,
we've been trying to speak to a lot of corporate organizations to inculcate corporate wellness to their programs, because people spend a lot of time at work.
Just doing this all day.
So making out time to exercise, eating healthy, watching your weight. Men who don't consume sugary food items, who don't do pastries like women will do, who don't do ice cream.
I know men who eat more ice cream than me.
But they indulge in a lot of alcoholic drinks, and they feel that makes them kind of safe. they actually aren't safe.
Oh yeah, because there's like beer has a lot of sugar in it, right? And some other sort of alcoholic things because of the barley and
Yeah,
things
what
like
they're
that.
made from.
Right.
Well, not all beer
Okay.
contains sugar.
Certain types.
Barley, like you mentioned, is used to make certain types of beer. And this then gives them carbohydrate content.
Okay.
I remember when you eat food, it is broken down into glucose. So while some certain types of beer have extra sugar added, some alcoholic drinks have extra sugar added. The ones that are very creamy,
Oh,
I can mention names.
We know
which
them, we know
women
them.
love.
Can you imagine? I don't understand this.
Wait,
This one is pastries. Then women, wait, stop first. It's not only women that like creamy drinks, so I'm just saying. No
Okay.
quality.
Men always do prefer beer and the likes. But
And
like I
high
said, it still
spirits.
doesn't. Certain beers do contain extra sugar. Those that don't contain extra sugar have high carbohydrate content, due to what they're made from. So you're almost the same. You consume almost the same amount of sugar, if not more, than someone who's eating a bar of chocolate or doing pastries or doing fizzy drinks. So it's all the same.
It's all the same. All right. Well, we're learning a lot here on the spot with Dr. Olu. We're going to go on another break. When we come back, we still have social media roundup and much more for you here on the spot as we discuss Eye on Diabetes. Please stay with us.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Spot, and today we've been talking about keeping an eye on diabetes in celebration of the International Day. And you said that you forgot a symptom. You forgot to mention
There was a symptom, right? That
Yeah,
you
there was a
had
symptom.
to watch out for.
There's certain people who have injuries, certain types of injuries that don't heal on time. You know, diabetic patients don't usually have their sores heal or injuries heal.
On time, okay.
Yeah, that's another symptom that people might look out for.
People should also remember to, not self-diagnose. Some people, when they hear
Right,
any
like,
symptoms,
Or
they're just like,
self-medicate.
So don't self-medicate.
That
Just
is
make sure that you go to a hospital.
Yeah.
professional.
Because
Diabetes isn't even that sort of disease that you self-medicate on.
Right.
You need proper help.
Yeah.
It can be managed properly. If it hasn't really worsened, you can start to show no symptoms at all. So
Can it be, I was going to say now, can it be reversed? Because I know of somebody that told me that they told her that she had diabetes, and then for a while she just said, okay, I'll stop eating this, I'll stop. And she started, becoming
Eating
more,
healthy,
healthy in general with drinking, eating, doing more walking and things like that. And she said, and then it just went. And I was like, okay, is it possible for symptoms to be extremely reduced to where they don't show, or is it that, did it actually go away? Like, does it go away
Is it
ever?
reversible?
it is possible.
Okay.
It is
should
possible.
believe
If you
her then.
start to live healthy for a period of time, you're on proper medication.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. And then there are people who do the gastric bypass. Maybe not in this part of the world.
Okay.
That can help in severe cases as
Tell
well.
us about the
Okay.
gastric bypass.
Yeah.
It's a surgery where
They basically
Stomach-
cut out. They basically
it's
cut
such bad skin.
most of your stomach out, or they
Yeah.
sometimes it's a sleeve too. Like they do a gastric sleeve or gastric bypass where they basically
stomach
reduce.
is-
It's
yeah,
about
it
this
becomes very
size or
small.
something. So you can't
it's
eat.
restructured, so to speak, and
Yeah.
it then limits the amount of food you can eat
So you basically use that to control yourself.
to control yourself.
Yeah, but it's done in morbidly
Mostly
obese.
in the
Morbidly
States.
obese
Yeah.
people
People.
who can't really summon the courage or lack the
lose weight,
motivation or just
Have a
don't
serious
know
addiction.
how to lose weight. Standing up is difficult, walking is difficult. Yeah.
TLC. 100-pound
Yeah,
life.
there's a show
Yeah.
called My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah.
You watch it. It's an eye opener. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I've caught it a couple of times.
I have a question about so managing diabetes diet-wise on this side. I've heard of so many different things that you can eat that are supposed to be better for you, like wheat or like I don't know, is it plantain powder, or there's something that they do with
Okay,
the skin or
brown
whatever.
rice.
I don't
Okay.
know. But is it is it possible for us to manage like diabetes diet-wise with the kind of foods that we have here?
Yes, it is. It is. Diet, yes, that's an angle, but you might still need medication. Type 1, you need insulin shots for the rest of your life.
There's just nothing you can do about that.
But for type 2, it is, it can be managed by diet.
I think what she's trying to say is the type of food that we're generally
we have in
you know, sometimes when they say go on a diet, they're telling you to look for, you know, things that are most likely more expensive sometimes, some things that are hard to find. So with the normal things that we eat, you know, rice, beans.
I think the fact that, or the saying that, you know, it's difficult to live healthy here is more like a myth.
Okay.
Or that it's more expensive to live healthy. It's, well, maybe for certain food items, but you can be on a proper healthy diet here. You have your brown rice, you have ofada rice, which is actually healthy rice. Better than
the
your white rice. You have basmati, which is also fair. You have your vegetables, which we don't do a lot of. The normal vegetable, your ugu, your veggies, carrots, cabbage. You have your broccoli, you have your spinach, you have kale, which you find in a lot of malls now.
And just not to drown them in oil really is the thing, right? So
Fruit,
if we don't
not
do that.
eating starchy food or controlling your portion. You know, I've always said this. I have a radio program I usually do twice a week. And, you know, I get bombarded a lot when I say, if you're doing swallow meals, it should be a fist size at most. And the bulk of the rest of the plate should be vegetables. Even if you're doing your noodles, you're doing, you don't have access to brown rice or fada rice, you are forced to do white rice. It should just be a little portion and then have the rest of the plate covered. Now, I'm not saying enough.
But like mostly
have
veggies.
Veggies. And then you have a source of protein, preferably fish or white meat. Chicken, skinless, turkey, skinless, lean meat if you must, but preferably fish. So you can absolutely manage. It might not be advisable that you just read up a diet and start to follow, especially if you have diabetes or if you're overweight or obese. You might need to speak to a nutritionist or a professional
to
who
help
will
you
give
tailor
you a proper,
something. Okay, cool. Well, we've learned a lot, and I'm sure we have a few more questions, but we also have something that we like to do on the show, which is sometimes we take a breath from the conversation and check out something that somebody else is doing. So let's check out today's Work It. I think we're going to a spa.
My name is Jennifer Ekwemandu, the CEO of Jewelry Beauty and Spa. This is a beauty and cosmetic center. We're into facials, body scrub, massage, steam bath. After my education here in Nigeria, I decided to enroll and study at the American British Surgical Medical Center in Dubai, where I worked in the cosmetic and beauty department. After my program, I started to come in here and establish my own spa. I started my business 4 months ago. Running this spa has been quite challenging. It requires lots of media pushing and awareness, brand awareness and all that, but we're getting along, we're getting there. It has been a success. For people who are interested in doing something they love, like in the beauty department, I think it's wise for them to go to a cosmetic school to just have knowledge in what you want to do. The few challenges I've faced in this business is, first of all, the first one is like creating awareness for my spa. That's one of the major challenges I've faced because there's so many spas out there, so trying to get in competition or get in line with them is quite challenging. Why we stand out from other spas here in Lekki, it's our commitment, drive, our goal to make our clients comfortable and happy when they come, so they could go and come back. Our treatments offered here, because we offer laser treatments and all that. We give in our 110% in everything we do. 5 years from now, we're way bigger than this, definitely. Have other branches in other states here in Nigeria. That's the vision.
Alrighty, interesting. I mean, as we see there, people like to get, beautified and go to the spa for massages and things like that. And that's not obviously aligned with exactly what you do, but it made me think of the fact that, as an alternative medicine practitioner, what I was going to ask you, if what you do can also ease some of the symptoms or help manage anything that comes about from diabetes, right?
Yes, it can. It can, but for people who would require insulin, you will still need to.
Yeah.
And then, there are medications that that are available in alternative medicine to help manage diabetes. But they do almost exactly the same thing as your orthodox.
But a quick one though, uneducated people, right, that don't really have access, don't really understand what diabetes is and stuff. What's going on? What's in store for them right now as we speak, in order to basically educate them about what's going on? Because a lot of people in slums and
they just don't
know.
Right.
So is there like a
well, to the best of my knowledge, I know that certain outfits, certain hospitals try to run campaigns to just try to create awareness, even in such areas. I, for one, run a concierge wellness practice. I remember there was a time we had some sort of campaign at very popular Lagos garage, where we were trying to teach about the ills of consuming all this local alcohol.
Stop drinking paraga.
Monkey tail.
So I know that many other outfits try to, the little way they can, create some sort of awareness. I know it's not enough, especially in the slums, like you mentioned, but
so we need to do better. We need to do more.
All right, okay. Looks like it's time for us to take another break. And when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more and rounding up the topic, and we'll see you in just a moment.
Welcome back to The Spot. It's time now for us to check out our social media roundup. And we've got some comments from the Twitter world, I believe. So, from Ibrahim Bello, I think that's from Facebook. Yeah. I think that you guys should have backup hosts. That way, when one of you is out, you have someone that can co-host. Great job, by the way. There you go.
Your wish is how come out.
We sorted that out for you. Then Olaolu 007 asked, is it that you guys don't wear wristwatch on your show? But she's wearing something.
I wear a Fitbit. Maybe he's offended that it's not like a real watch. I don't know. Do you have a watch on?
No.
yeah, that's true. I just forget sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll make a conscious effort to wear a watch.
No, Olaolu 007, buy a watch for us.
Yes.
I'll take
buy us one, send it to us. We'd love it.
I
wear it every single day.
Diamond inlays, so that's all I wear. If I'm not wearing my Fitbit, it's diamonds, so just diamonds.
And the last comment is from Oremi. The Spot is one show that I ensure I do not miss any episode. You are all doing a great job. The sky is just the beginning.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Indeed. And there's one more.
Okay.
From Leah Nolisi on Facebook. You guys, though, you bring out the real human girl out of me. Really love you guys. And I'm South African, but when I watch you guys, I wish I was Nigerian. Wish to visit you one day. Much love and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Aww, thanks, girl. Don't wish you were Nigerian. Being South African is pretty awesome, too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Dope. Okay.
We like to do something on the show where we share a pet peeve. So something that we really don't like, and Lamide has one today.
What is mine today?
Something about an airplane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
I've been on a few planes recently, and when you're on a plane, you know you're in you're in a contained space with a lot of people, and sometimes people don't understand that I can't leave, and this is not your living room, so maybe don't be shouting. Maybe just don't be shouting and just talking anyhow.
She said maybe don't be
Maybe just don't be shouting and talking anyhow, and maybe just leave people alone that are strangers on the plane.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're next to someone on the plane and you just want to talk. Meanwhile, you just want to sleep. They're like, so what do you do? I don't do anything.
The
I want
one
to sleep.
that I don't like is when somebody sits in your seat, right? And then you get there and you're like, excuse me, you're in my seat. And they're like, really?
But I want to sit here.
What number is it? Check your ticket, because my ticket says window. Oh, and then they start making it an effort for them to leave. Okay, I'll move.
I unlook because
And then you're just
I want
like,
to
all
sit
right,
there.
fine, just sit there then.
No. I like window seats. Thank you for moving, and then I go and sit in my seat. So that's my own thing. Do you have any pet peeves? Things that just really get on your nerves?
Traffic.
All of us. Traffic is the worst, to be honest.
But when we say traffic, there's traffic, and then there's traffic.
There's traffic.
You know that traffic where, like, you just notice that everybody's coming out of their cars and they now start talking like, "What's it? We don't cause this thing like that."
I don't
Okay, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
I think for me, talking about being on a plane though, I don't like it when I don't like to hear the sound of people chew.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
so
like a
sometimes-
competition sometimes.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm just like, oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I now get conscious when it's my turn to
When
chew.
you're doing it.
I'm like, I don't want to be that
Do
loud
I
guy.
sound like that?
It's funny.
It's been a good show. We've learned a lot. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming and sharing with us. And make sure you do go out there and get tested. Don't be afraid. It's not the end of the world. You'll be just fine. We'll see you guys another day on this spot. Bye-bye.
Bye. Peace out.
Yes.